I may be speaking a little bit quieter. Mom's asleep. So, let's continue. Not that way. Okay.
We'll keep the hall, Herald of
Basically,
show them the light.
We have to gather as many lieutenants as we can and bring them into the Great Hall to help us to fight that NB demon. We'll try and do this as fast as I can. So, right here you uncover the assassination plot on Celine, and that will be the future plan for them.
The Elder One wants her dead. Empress Celine. He hates her, haunts her, wants her dead, but hides. Why? He hid other things too.
So, a plot against the Empress. These guys don't think small, do they?
I wonder why this Elder One wants her dead.
In here you'll find the Lord Seeker's key, which you'll need to get in. You'll need to get in to get the Lyria. Right here. And you're gonna find the uncorrupted lyrium. Lyrium Manifest. 3 crates, high grade, Westink Mines, Orzammar, House Keltar. 2 crates, regular grade, Sternen Peak, Anderfels, Town of Geltberg. 5 crates of red lyrium, source unverified, rations given out only on Lord Seeker's orders. A note is pinned to the bottom of the page. Isric, it is me, or does red... Oh, is it me, or does red lyrium sound different than the rest? I caught the new boy listening to it after stacking the crates, dragged him out by the ears. But the Knight Captain says, put him on the red lyrium for now on. Too lenient, if you ask me. And here's the lyrium cache.
The untainted lyrium.
The untainted lyrium. Oh.
I hear fighting. We should return to the Great Hall.
Holy snap. Okay.
That thing was Commander Ariel. What happened to them?
Regroup with Barris. He'll explain the plan.
Good luck.
Alright. Actually, I should turn. Or are they good?
I hear fighting. We should return to the Great Hall.
Really? I hate when they block the damn door. Which I believe is a way into the hallway. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you see that? Made it look like he was going down, but then not really. It looked funny. Alright, let's
Some broke through to siege
wait
the
until
hall.
this fills
More
up.
will-
So, we last left off in the middle of Therinfall.
Free to pass. I
We're
hope
trying to
you're
recruit
what
the
they say.
Templars and found out there's an envy demon trying to impersonate the Lord Seeker, and in the process he's interested in you to take over and impersonate you.
The Templars who have not fallen into corruption fight bravely. I pray there's enough of the Order to save.
We can't leave with empty hands, Seeker. If needed, measures must be taken.
So, and then Cole helps you into drawing the demon out. So,
You live.
I'll go from here.
You bless us. I feared you were dead.
Just get to the hall. Barris will explain.
Fight well.
Ooh, yummy. And I believe it's through. Never mind, it's not through that door. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then over here is the last one that you need.
Herald, you live!
It's good to see you alive, Herald.
Head back to the main hall. We'll meet you there.
Of course.
And we're done. We still
That's
have
all of
all our
them. Back to your
potions.
posts.
now.
Right. Keep them off us. We'll break this beast.
You just need to keep off the red Templars until they can get that open.
Red Templars, coming through the barrier.
In a circle and you get more you hit more enemies that way. I forgot the name. Let's pick some stuff up actually. I see a lot of material here. Okay. Wait. Okay. Oh, wait. It's over here lighting up like firecrackers. I'm like, pick me, pick me. Okay. I'm done.
I touched so much of you, but you are selfish with your glory. Now I'm no one.
Dark and desperate. Death to make yourself alive. I used to be like you. I'm not anymore. You shouldn't be either.
Almost like a terror demon. My word.
What kind of game? Everything. I still know you. I know all of you. The Elder One promised you to me. Now no one will have you.
Well, it's nice to know I can grab Envy. Oh no. Oh, no. Wow. Huh. That was a lot faster than I expected to defeat Envy. Frost rune. Frost essence. Can make frost runes. Spirit essence. Spirit runes. Fire runes. Lightning runes. Sigil of the Revenant. That could come in handy. And I'll save that for Cole. Alright. Let me see what else. Red Templar. I can't pick it up anyways. Probably have to visit Sigrid. Okay. So now,
The demon is dead. Andraste be praised. She shielded you from its touch. We've numbers across Thedas, but we let this happen. Our officers either failed to see it, or were complicit. The Templars are ready to hear what the Inquisition needs of us.
now you have the choice of making an alliance with the Templars or conscripting them. And your choices do affect the approval or disapproval of your companions. Let's see. You know what you need to do.
That's our enemy. The breach can't be overcome with words. Hope won't make it disappear. If Templars still stand against ruinous magic, this is the moment to fulfill your pledge.
You speak truths we should never have ignored. But the Order is leaderless, gutted by betrayal. We must rebuild it.
So if you say rebuild as partners, that would make them allies. The Templar, they'll still be Templars. Well, I mean they are Templars. They'll still be an order. And you'll get the approval of Cassandra, even though she's like pissed off. Like, we should have. And I'm paraphrasing here. They shouldn't be allies, blah blah blah, for what happened. Even though she approved that we have Templars as allies now, like I I don't know. If you say conscript, she'll disapprove, but then she'll agree with you in cutscene. But I don't know. You'll get Vivian's approval either way. It's just with the conscripting part, you'll get a slight approval. With the allies part, you'll get a full-on approval. Sarah will disagree with you if you chose to be allies, while if you conscript them, she'll totally approve. Ironball will disapprove with the conscripting part. Solus will totally agree if you conscript them, whereas if you have them as allies, he'll greatly disapprove. I think Cole greatly approves. I think either way. And Blackwall will approve either way as well. Or you probably won't even see their approval. I don't know. I'm not sure. Unless, I guess you have them as allies, then you'll probably see more of an approval than the latter. But since my character, they were honestly under the control of a demon, although albeit unknowingly. But you can either rebuild them or have them conscripted. So what I think last time I did this, I did conscript them. I'm undecided. I'll conscript them. Convince the Templars to disband and become part of the Inquisition.
Time. If the old order is too broken to stand, then become
Blackwall
knights under the
disapproves?
Inquisition.
Sorry. Slight disapproval?
Serve us. Stop the breach.
Well,
and
don't
begin
listen to
again
me.
without stain on your honor. That is our offer.
If it is the only way, Templars, will we serve the Inquisition to atone for our failure?
Ow, ow, ow.
So be it. The Order will disband and take up the Inquisition's banner. We'll need weapons, training grounds, a place to rest. The Inquisition must prepare for our arrival.
We're ready for anyone's help.
We'll be ready for anyone willing to throw their hat in with us.
So that's that. You know what, let's do this. Well, wait for cutscene.
You disbanded the Templar Order on the Inquisition's authority.
You did not see what they had done, Commander.
You and their herald fought bravely, but That decision should have been the Inquisition's, not yours alone.
Templars need new leaders.
The Order was in chaos. We had to shape it going forward, or risk losing it entirely.
I would have preferred willing allies, but the Order put their trust in our herald. Surely that's what we wanted.
A few dozen veterans are coming ahead of the rest to help seal the breach.
How soon until these veterans arrive?
They're almost here. Templars don't like to be late.
Make
Wait!
I came with you to help. I would have told you before, but you were busy.
It's alright. Let's be calm, is what I usually say. Yeah.
That's fine, Cole. You just startled us, appearing out of thin air.
I wasn't air. I was here. You didn't see me. Most people don't until I let them.
Call the gods. This creature is not what you...
A moment, please, Cassandra. I would like to hear why he came.
You help people. You made them safe when they would have died. I want to do that. I can help.
What kind of help?
Why and how would you help the Inquisition?
The hole in the sky is too loud for spirits to think. It's pulling, pushing out pain. I want to stop it.
How altruistic of you.
I want to help. I can be hard to see. I can kill things that would hurt people. I won't get in the way.
At this point, I've never attacked Cole outright. Like, who could attack Cole?
Cole saved my life in Therinfall. I couldn't have defeated Envy without him.
But what does he want now?
I think he really is trying to help.
I won't be in the way. Tiny, no trouble, no notice taken unless you want them to.
You're not honestly suggesting we give him run of the camp?
Not freely, perhaps, but it seems a waste to... Hold on.
Where did he go?
He's around somewhere.
I'm sure we'll find him somewhere.
Yes, we must make sure of that. I'll have people watch the boy. But let's not be distracted from the breach.
We'll need your help when the Templar veterans arrive. Take time to prepare while you can.
Oh, dude. This boy over here. He's like, alright, I'm done with you, human. You may leave.
It is good that you salvaged as many Templars as you did, my dear. We will need every Templar, but they will require proper management. We also need to increase our lyrium supplies considerably. The Chantry may still have stockpiles we can use.
That may not be enough.
We likely need more than they have. Our enemies have magic that can rip open the Fade.
Indeed. We may need Josephine to open negotiations with the dwarves directly. The breach has done more than disfigure the sky. The veil itself is broken. All mages, no matter how skilled, are now in danger of drawing demons to them. Before this crisis is over, you may find that Templars, flawed as they may be, are all that stand between us and chaos.
Do you pose a risk?
When you say mages are a danger, are you counting yourself?
Of course I am, my dear. Every mage who joins the cause is taking a calculated risk, whether they know it or not. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
You're preaching to the choir, Vivian.
Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
Let me get this
A curious
over
idea.
with really quick.
Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear.
Okay. Okay. Codex. Characters. What we have right now. Blackwall. I do not have much on Warden Blackwall. We know he became Constable of the Grey in Velcheven after Warden Constable Fontaine assumed the position of Commander of the Grey from her predecessor. He also bears the Silverite Wings of Valor, an honor bestowed upon Orlesian wardens for deeds of great daring. The details of the act for which Blackwall earned the Silverite Wings, however, are sketchy. Grey Wardens hide their secrets well. The medal was likely awarded for a champion to secure deep roads entrances within Orlais shortly after the Fifth Blight. Several Grey Wardens lost their lives on that campaign. Perhaps more would be dead if not for Blackwall. According to my sources, Warden Blackwall has been traveling alone for several years now. The last anyone saw him at the keep in Velcheven, it was 937 Dragon. It has been completely abandoned, along with all other warden outposts. I believe Blackwall is as curious about this disappearance as we are. Perhaps in time we will find answers. Which Liliana probably had the report on Tom Rainier before we ever had anything. I don't know. Cole. His name is Cole. He's not that old, perhaps 20 years, no more. He has blonde hair that hangs in front of his eyes. He wears dirty leathers, perhaps the only clothes he owns. He was there when you found Reese in the Templar crypt, but you couldn't see him. Nobody can. And those who do forget him, just like you are right now. Remember the dream. A letter allegedly written by former Knight Captain Evangeline de Brassard, found in the spire in the aftermath of the Mage Uprising. Cassandra Pentagast. Lord Seeker Lucius. I am fully aware of the intent behind your predecessor's declaration. Lord Seeker Lampert pried the Templars away from Chantry control and led them into an assault upon all mages, for reasons you both find justified. I, however, am uncertain when the Seekers of Truth went from guarding against injustice to perpetrating it. If you truly believe that is not the case, I suggest you look out a window at the chaos this war has caused, and ask yourself if Thetis will recover even if you are victorious. I remain at Divine Justinia's right hand, and will stay there even if you brand me traitor. I am sorry, but there is too much at stake to swerve from the path we willingly follow at the Chantry's foundation. From a letter by Seeker Cassandra Pentagast to Lord Seeker Lucius, Corin, Dragon 939. Cullen. Whatever you have heard of Kirkwall's rebellion, the truth is far worse. I would spare you that. What remains of Kirkwall's Templars have been under my command for the past few years. We have done what we could to assist the city's recovery, to restore some semblance of order, but my time here is done. Seeker Pentagast has approached me. She wishes to stop the war between mages and Templars. She has been recruiting men and women to the cause and wishes me to oversee the group's military concerns. If the conclave goes well, then we will not be needed. If not, we stand ready. I have decided to take Seeker Pentagast's offer. The circles have fallen. I can give no more to the Templar Order, nor it to me. The Maker has shown me a new path. I must take it. Excerpt from a letter sent to South Reach by Commander Cullen. Divine Justinia V. Formerly the revered Mother Dorothea of Orlais, Divine Justinia V rose to power after the death of Divine Beatrix III in the year 934 of the Dragon Age. Little is known of Dorothea's background before she joined the Chantry as an initiate, but she proved to be a liberal and daring thinker, willing to take a former bard and lay sister Liliana as a close advisor. A headstrong devotion to her own agenda and rumored support of the Mage Rebellion earned her no small dislike from the powerful priests long used to controlling access to the divine. In the year 940 of the Dragon Age, Divine Justinia called a summit, intending to negotiate a truce between the Mage Rebellion and the Templars splintered from the Chantry. The Divine Conclave was held at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, the most holy place in Thedas. Before a resolution could be reached, a cataclysmic explosion destroyed the conclave, consumed the temple, rent the sky, and shattered the world's hopes for peace. Divine Justinia V perished in the Temple of Sacred Ashes. The Chantry flounders, leaderless, in the wake of her death, and its fate grows increasingly uncertain. If order is not restored to Thedas, Justinia V might be remembered as the Chantry's final divine. Grand Enchanter Fiona. Oh. Okay. Grand Enchanter Fiona is considered an anomaly among mages. She is, for instance, the only member of the Circle of Magi ever to leave due to recruitment by the Grey Wardens, and then return. The circumstances of that return are largely unknown, but the notoriety she gained within the circle allowed her to rise rapidly in the ranks. She became first enchanter of the Monsumar Tower, and then elected Grand Enchanter at the college in Cumberland. The latter was based on her advocacy for greater mage freedom, a view she claimed her time with the Wardens supported. Urging for a vote on the matter led to the College of Enchanters' dissolution in 940 Dragon, and then when a vote was attempted secretly to Lord Seeker Lambert of the Seekers of Truth, arresting Fiona and her fellow enchanters. Following their flight to the ruin of Andural's Reach, the escaped mages held and passed a final vote on the Circle of Magi's independence. This began the Mage Rebellion. While Fiona no longer holds the official position of Grand Enchanter, most mages still consider her an integral part of the rebellion's leadership. I understand Fiona is the same Fiona that supposedly was King Merrick's lover of a sort, and apparently she gave birth to Alistair. The reason why she was officially cured of the taint of the Grey Wardens is probably because of the of the Calenhad bloodline, which is still not clear and is only theory at that point. But because the Calenhad bloodline holds the blood of dragons, and dragons are known to be, or to have a resistant towards blight. Any blight imaginable. Which is interesting. And she's the only character to ever be cured of the taint. High Chancellor Roderick. There are some who claim men have no place in the Chantry, beyond the lowest rank or scholarly brothers and those who take their place amongst the Templars. It is not true. This is an organization spanning several nations, from the smallest village Chantry to the grand cathedral in Valrayo. It takes more than sermons to keep it alive. There is an invisible army at work, ensuring meals are delivered, repairs are made, and faithful attended to, and much of it done by Chantry brothers like myself. The position of High Chancellor places a man beside the most holy. I control who is permitted audience, handle her correspondence, deliver her word to Thetis, and serve as her advisor on matters which may be mundane but cannot be disregarded. If I have influence, let it be said it is sometimes, or it is something I use sparingly, if at all. This is a task to which I devote myself with solemnity. I and my fellows bear a burden so that others are free to guide the spirits of Thetis unencumbered. Excerpt from a letter by High Chancellor Roderick Asinon? I'm assuming the G is silent. I don't know. 939 Dragon. Iron Bull. M, my dear friend, I completely understand the difficulty you face. To have such a well-equipped bandits attack your family's caravans so regularly and with such exquisite knowledge of your shipping schedules is indeed highly unfortunate. There is no shame at all in finding your household guards wanting in such trying circumstances. To answer your question, when faced with my own troubles last year, I employed the Iron Bull's charges. Their leader, the Iron Bull, is a Kunari, a great horned giant of a man. He looked like a savage, but spoke like a gentleman. He seems unstoppable in combat, but is far more clever than a simple swordsman. His mercenaries were costly, but they were both strong enough to protect my family's caravans, and clever enough to discover how the bandits came into such luck in their attacks upon my family. The bandits have been no trouble at all since, and a baron of our mutual acquaintance effusively assured me that he would be greatly surprised if they ever again caused us difficulty. If you wish to employ the Iron Bull, I can provide you with his contact information, as well as a list of the liquors he enjoys most particularly. Will your husband also be present in these negotiations, or will you be making the acquaintance of the Iron Bull in a more intimate setting? If so, we shall have to talk, the next time our men go a-hunting. Yours in friendship, B. A letter lifted from a hidden drawer in a noblewoman's vanity and copied carefully before being returned. Yeah. Okay, Liliana. She has many names. Most know her as Sister Liliana or the Nightingale. Some refuse to speak her name at all, referring to her only as the left hand of the divine, the shadow behind the sunburst throne. The spymaster Marjolaine trained Liliana from a young age. For years Liliana was Majoran's instrument in the great game of Orlais. While Liliana was devoted to Marjolaine, the reverse was not true. Marjolaine betrayed Liliana and almost succeeded in killing her. Liliana survived the betrayal thanks to revered Mother Dorothea. Following the betrayal, Liliana spent several years in a cloister in Ferelden, hiding from her past. Inspired by revered Mother Dorothea, Liliana dedicated herself to her faith, discovering peace in a simple life of devotion. But when the fifth blight began, she received what she believed a vision from the Maker. This prompted her to leave her sanctuary, taking up arms against Darkspawn. Several years after the defeat of the Archdemon, Liliana received a summons from Dorothea, now Divine Justinia V. She returned to Orlais to become an agent of the Sunburst throne. Justinia perished in the explosion that destroyed the Divine Conclave, and Liliana became a founding member and spymaster of the new Inquisition. Lavalin of the Dalish. The Dalish are elves who refuse to live in human cities, where their people are exploited, having few rights. They choose to eke out an independent existence in the forests, attempting to keep the last remnants of their ancient culture alive. Hera is from Clan Lavalin, a group of Dalish who migrate around the perpetually feuding Free Marches. Hera's people travel along the borders of each city-state's territory, where Free March rulers will be less inclined to attack them, for fear of accidentally provoking neighboring cities. Hera became a hunter at a young age, growing into a respected protector and provider. The recent mage rebellions disturbed her clan's way of life as the fighting spilled out into the countryside. Clan Lavalin's leader, Keeper Deshana Istamathoriel Lavalin, chose Hera to spy on the meeting at the Temple of Sacred Ashes between the Divine and the feuding factions, so she could bring back news of the outcome. After the explosion that killed the Divine, Hera was the only survivor. Rumors that the mysterious mark on her hand is a sign of the Maker's favor were spread by those who claim they saw the Divine Prophet Andraste herself led Lavalin out of the Fade. This will differ between Herald of Andrastes. If you're human, it'll be different. Kinari will be different, and Dwarven will be different. Josephine Montillier. Seeker Cassandra. Josephine Montillier is a noble from the nation of Antiva. She was educated in Valrio, where she built connections among the court. Once she finished her schooling, at a surprisingly young age, Lady Montillier became the official diplomat between King Fulgeno of Antiva to Empress Celine of Orlais. The appointment suits her. She is well-traveled, familiar with many forms of etiquette, and by all accounts a skilled negotiator. If that endorsement does not suffice, Josephine is a personal friend. I have faith in her. We require someone both influential and trustworthy to be an ambassador for the Inquisition. You cannot tell me you would prefer to take the job yourself. Sister Liliana. Lord Seeker Lucius Corrin. For months we were also certain Lord Seeker Lambert's death was an assassination carried out by mages. He had, after all, declared the Navarran Accord null and void, hurtling us headlong into a war against the rebels. Why else would he be killed, except as an act of retribution? The entire Templar Order was fired up, ready to take up the fight against the mages, something we were sure would be over in a matter of weeks. Thus the election of Lucius Corrin to the role made me despair. According to the few seekers of truth with whom I spoke, he was a moderate. He agreed to the Divine's conclave, and every Templar I knew felt certain he would compromise to see the war ended. But lately, the man seems different, does he not? I never met him before he assumed command, but even in the short time his opinions on the war have turned. He did not go to the conclave he personally supported. In fact, he seems to regret supporting it at all. He talks of the Templars establishing themselves as a power in our own right, and our fellows are all too eager to listen. I don't know from where this change of heart came, but I begin to wonder if Lambert's death wasn't as simple a matter as we assumed. Something is amiss within our order, and all I know is that it's beyond me to discover what. From a letter written by an unknown Templar found in a burned-out fort, 941 Dragon. Solus. Cassandra, I understand our first order of business must be to investigate this bizarre breach in the sky and protect people from the demons descending. While my search continues, I wish to draw your attention to a new arrival at our camp, an elven apostate calling himself Solus. Solus entered the camp voluntarily, surrendering his staff to Tantri forces without protest. He is not Dalish, and says that he has never been part of the circle, claiming instead to have studied magic peacefully on his own, particularly magic tied to the Fade. While I suspect you will be reluctant to accept the help of an apostate, Solus did come to us freely. Witnesses saw him in a nearby village at the time of the blast, so he was likely not responsible for what happened at the conclave. However, he has described the effects of the breach in enough detail to convince me that he knows more about the Fade than anyone else present. Solus has requested permission to study the lone survivor and one of the smaller rifts in hopes of finding a way to seal the breach. He has correctly guessed that it is growing, and believes it will destroy the entire world unless we find a way to stop it. Unless you object, I will allow him his studies, under proper observation, of course. Liliana. Sarah. This report by Josephine has been defaced numerous times in a different hand. On Sarah read Jenny and Velissima Lady Parts von Knuckle Fronts. It falls to me to comment on this red Jenny, for as a creature of the court, I must have seen the effect of her actions, although I cannot be certain. Does that make them effective or ineffective? What I know is that she has vexed cities, guardsmen across Thedas, and always escaped. Accessing all available records, it seems clear that there have been multiple embodiments of the name, often at the same time. The limitations of communication are such that this is impossible to verify in the moment. A crude drawing of a guard with her breeches at her ankles. The severity of the attributed actions vary wildly, and from petty to outright vicious, while official reports label these actions unfair. I have knowledge of many named as victims, and several are of suspect character. Sarah would call them something altogether untoward. Yes, mum, shit's the lot of 'em. There are tales of Red Jenny targeting criminals, slavers, and even assassins' guilds. The benefit of having a local is that they are invested in regional concerns. Although this obviously varies, I can discern no protocol. Don't need a title to be awful and deserve it. So who is our... oh, damn. So who is our Red Jenny? She has been amusing herself in Valrayo for some time, although it is unclear from her accent that although it is clear from her accent that she is deeply Ferelden. She met with outright laughter my inquiry as to whether she had any special elven concerns that I could address. I have conferred with Liliana about the danger of this group, and our estimation is that this incarnation of Red Jenny is at least a good distraction. Aw, the scary one cares. Sarah. Varric Tethras. There's power in stories. That's all history is. the best tales, the ones that last, might as well be mine. Varric Tethras of the Dwarven Merchants Guild of Kirkwall is famous, or infamous, for two things: his books and his association with the Champion of Kirkwall. After the Templars and Circles broke away from the Chantry, Divine Justinia V sent her agents to Kirkwall, where the roots of the war began, in search of answers. The Champion had long since disappeared, but Varric had written a book on his friend's involvement in the destruction of the Kirkwall Chantry, and the left and right hands of the Divine located him with surprising ease. They captured and interrogated him, then brought him to the Conclave to give his testament to the Divine in person, but fate decreed that he would never meet her. Vivienne, Madame de Fer. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned. An astucious and talented scholar, Vivienne rose rapidly through the ranks of Monsimard's circle. When made a full-fledged enchanter, she elected to join no fraternity, a decision that shocked colleges, but may have been a calculated maneuver. When she successfully applied to be appointed enchanter to the imperial court, nearly every fraternity clamored for her favor in hopes of having a representative at the emperor's ear. She was voted first enchanter of Monsimard at a young age, enough to cause scandal. The circle widely regards her as the most shrewd and disciplined mage in Orlais. And last but not least, Xenon, the Antiquarian. I left the Black Emporium empty-handed for two reasons. First, most of the items were priced far beyond what I could afford. Second, I spent most of my short time there trying to sate my curiosity about its proprietor. I found myself stealing glances at the antiquarian from behind piles of books, between shelves, and at one point over a basket of mismatched socks. There he sat, petrified, in the center of the emporium, skin of waxy gray over ancient taut sinew, moaning in a voice so dry and brittle it sounded like the snapping of twigs after drought. A girl, or not more than 12, scurried to and fro to fulfill his numerous requests. Another patron noticed my fascination and told me that the girl, most likely an urchin rescued from the street, was responsible for the needs of the antiquarian, feeding, washing, and the like. So impossibly old is he, and so fragile his skin, he can only tolerate the barest whisper of touches from the smallest and most tender of his servants. Only in this way may he come close to his lost youth, said the man. I was surrounded by objects of legend, yet none fascinated me as did the antiquarian. From a journal page found in Kirkwall's Dark Town, written by an unknown author. Okay, that's all for right now for the characters codex. And there's a lot more which I won't get into right now. I'll probably try and get into it within each video or something. Interact with
How may I help you?
some of these characters before I do anything.
Restoring the circle?
After the circles fell, their libraries were plundered by scavengers.
There is a little side quest with Vivienne, and it's to locate these lost tomes. There's about 3 of them she can locate.
If you are interested in righting this wrong.
One is in the hinterlands,
I'll look into it for you.
and the other 2 you need to get to Skyhold for that, because it opens up more of Orlais as you rise to power. I don't have anything? No. talk to Varric.
So, the Templars joined the Inquisition. Even with Cullen here, I never thought that would happen. Of course, after Kirkwall, I never thought anyone would use red lyrium on purpose either. The Templars should know better than anyone what that shit does to people. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
Let's just ask
How
them a
long
few
does it take for
questions
red
here.
lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting
Depending on
stuff.
your choices of Dragon
This
Age
Elder
2,
one managed to take the worst thing
you
I
either
can
have the
think
choice of
and
having
make it
him,
worse. That's an accomplishment.
of giving him the shard of red lyrium that you find in Bartrand's old place, or you can convince him to get rid of it, or not give it to him actually, and you try to give it to Sandal, which makes it into a corrupted rune, which you can give to Varric. Well, you know, you can have the rune on Bianca for Varric to use, or if you have him decide to keep it, it opens up new dialogue in Inquisition. He says he's written to every, well, he'll say that either way. He's written to every mining cast in Orzammar and no one's ever heard of it. When they try to study it, they have to wait in a week, every week between shifts, because of how dangerous that stuff is. And if you decide to keep Bartrand alive, they have him in, I'd like to say, in quarantine, like in a in a secluded area, trying to see if they can cure him, but not really. He's still very much corrupted, I'd say. Or you can kill him, which I believe is the merciful way to do it. But it all depends on your world state, on your decisions, and you can upload them to the Dragon Age Keep, which in turn will update with your Inquisition playthrough. We need to eliminate it.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Ow. I always choose this, have a party.
That's
Why
a
not?
good point. We should celebrate. A banquet? Something like a banquet?
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
I haven't talked to Solus yet. Let's do this really quick.
So the Templars will put their powers to use, sealing the breach. Any group corrupted by a demon must be watched carefully. At least they know how to fight.
Don't underestimate them.
The Templars are a powerful force. The thing affecting them was not just a simple demon.
Fair enough. Bear in mind the demon, however powerful, was but a single minion of the Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again with the Templars. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront. Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You ask, you think it survived, which, I mean, it did. And it does. I mean, something like that could not have been destroyed so easily. It's a very powerful orb. So I won't ask that. I agree.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on Elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of Elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
Any choice you would like to say, it gets his disapproval either way. Proudly will get him a moderate disapproval. I'm assuming this one will get him a moderate disapproval as well. I usually go for this. It's not so angry, and it's mostly half joking. Really, dude? Thank you. I'm dragging the cord away. It's silly. This one probably half is like joking.
What's your problem with the Dalish? Allergic to Hala?
Allergic to Hala.
Acting out stories misheard and repeated wrongly 1,000 times.
Oh, but you know the truth, right?
While they pass on stories, mangling details, I walk the Fade. I have seen things they have not.
I usually go for we are trying, accept that.
Irabella, Saren. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish. Irabalas, darling. If I can offer any understanding, you have but to ask.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Halam Sharal. But Halam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire.
Sorry.
And Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves.
I ask him these
Arlathan?
questions,
We hear stories of
and it's just easier in the long run.
Or Dalish Erebels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches. Palaces floating
although
among the
I
clouds.
probably
Imagine
won't
beings
agree
who
with the
lived
whole
forever,
magic thing,
for whom magic was as
not my
natural as
character,
breathing. That
but
is what was lost.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits. Others trade freely with humans. And some have disappeared entirely to the forests.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Is elven magic different from the magic used by humans?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in
and I
different
guess
ways.
with each
Dalish
time
magic
you
is more practical. not needing
interact with a certain
although
character.
still frown blood magic.
I believe
Much
the
of it is
codex
more
either
subtle.
updates
Legacy from when
or
elves were immortal.
on their on that character, or they give you more codex pages on what you talked about.
Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No.
And or the
It was
different
simply part of
actions
being elf. The subtle
that
beauty of
play
their
out
magic was
within the
effect,
game,
not
then
the
their
cause of their
codex
nature.
updates,
Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger
which
for centuries.
for Iron
harmonizing
Bull
with
will
new
update
magic,
when you
and an
defeat
ending
your first
symphony.
dragon.
It must have been
If you have Sarah with you while you defeat your first dragon, her
You said that
codex
the
page
censure
will
against
update
blood magic was a superstition?
too.
It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly,
And then,
even Devinter disapproves of it. But as I've said,
over time, it'll
magic
just
is magic.
update on its own.
It matters only in how it is used.
See, my character, I am not a mage. And being as I've been with my clan all my life, they're mostly on a superstition of blood magic is evil. Will probably get you disapproval, although I don't know how much of a disapproval rate.
Every time I've seen blood magic used,
moderate.
it has been for some evil purpose.
I once saw a woman stabbed in the stomach with a dagger. She died slowly, in agony. It was repulsive. If the Chantry outlawed daggers, would that stop people from using them? Of course not. Some would use daggers in secret, shamed, and some would find rebellion titillating, step down the path of depravity.
That metaphor doesn't work. Alternative is Tevinter. Fine, they're still evil. That metaphor doesn't work.
You don't need to sacrifice a slave's life to make a dagger.
I suppose it depends upon the dagger. How many men have you killed while fighting for the Inquisition? How many more will you kill out of necessity? And if blood magic could help you? Well, it matters little to me. I do not use it, but I do not think it evil.
He doesn't
We'll
use
talk
it
later.
because it makes it harder for him to enter the Fade, which is why he doesn't practice it. But for him to say that it's not evil,
At least we got
I mean, we've only ever been showed blood magic used for evil purposes. So what if in the next game they show blood magic in a different way? Maybe as it was supposed to be used? If blood magic comes from demons, I don't know. It could probably work both ways. If there's a way to not use it for evil purposes, they'll probably enlighten us in the next game. Let's get rid of some space here. I'll save that malachite. That could be used for a requisition somewhere. I believe it's in the hinterlands, but probably won't encounter that until later. But I'm still saving it. It's very hard to find that anywhere. I can't remember if I had gotten any special deliveries. Although with this playthrough I have not. Not one single special delivery, and I usually do probably get like 2 or 3 at a time. It's the first time I haven't gotten a thing. Before I do anything, let's craft some armor for... Let's see. Like for Dread, I can already craft for Iron Bull. Specifically for Iron Bull only. Instead of waiting for his side quest to show up, which will be later on. And he can already wear it. For Vivian, I already have Hat of Majesty. Oh, that's only for Blackwall, huh? Blackwall. Well, I don't want to... Yeah. So, these are all what I have from past playthroughs, and that's why I have so much of it. And the best armor will truly save my hide countless times. Which I have so little of it. Maybe for only the 4 that I'm going to bring with me on In Your Heart Shall Burn. So I'll probably take Blackwall with me. I'll save iron for weapons. Iron is very good for weapons here. I just need more materials afterwards. And Summerstone. Ooh. Helix party. Oh, never mind. I guess. And I think just like that. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's just the weapons though. Yeah. Weapons will severely, but weapons are good. Summerstone. Iron is good for attack, which is why I only reserve it for weapons and such. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. Block and slash. Huh. Shield bash. Belt of Sunder. Okay. What mage? You know what, Vivian? Vivian. For Vivian's armor, I think she's the only mage that has the best looking armor out of all of the companions. Like, no joke. 'Cause she looks fierce while wearing them. Lamb's wool. Yeah, that's it for my stockpile. Unless you're a warrior. So, Blackwall, Vivian. Iron Bull, maybe? And the only thing I probably need to craft for Vivian is a suitable weapon. Which is very hard to come by now. First Enchanter, Seer, Archmage. Man, if I had the... what is it? It's a staff that you can get from the Black Emporium. Oh my gosh, I forget what name it is. There's like 2 of them that are like really badass. First Enchanter. Electricity damage. I'm running out of materials here. Nine attack. Cool. Dexterity. Actually, that's the only thing I have on. Oh, bear hide. Alright. Which won't be much, but I mean, until we reach Skyhold and get Arcana Stagna, we won't be able to access runes at all. Yeah. That's all I could do. But what I can give her is suitable armor. Because what we're up against is mages. So Blackwell has his. Alright, right. But Blackwell, I mean, Iron Bull needs his Dread and armor. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. And then everything else I could just get rid of because it's not necessary anymore. No. What I do need to do coal is I already have them set up. 1, 2, 3. I should really save these. Really? Thank you. I'll pick that one. That one. That one. 1, 2, 3. Focus more on stealth. Yeah. Although for Cole, I'm not sure what I have for him other than this one. I look mismatched right now, but okay. Armor. What do I have? Not bad. That's pretty cool. And then I have Cole's hat too. So Blackwell, Vivian, Cole. Sorry. Blackwell, Vivian, Iron Bull. I think I have my 4-man squad. 3-man squad. As for Varric, no? Let me see if I can craft something. Yikes. Yeah, no, that was everything I had. I only craft the aiming.
Should serve you well.
Which, when you have the grip, the arms, and the rune combined, do some serious damage for Varric's Bianca. Tactician's Renewal is very good. Which I'll use later. Basically has the ability to reset all of your abilities, and then so it'll help you if you want to go in a more different route. Like with Vivian, I'll use later on to make her a type of a mage tank that she is, with her specialty, the Way of the Night Enchanter. I'll use later on. I think I'm set. I think so.
Something must be done, immediately.
Nothing will be done.
Commander Cullen said the same thing. It's an outrage. There are mages here we know are guilty of heinous crimes. You would let that pass?
Yes, as will you. This is the Inquisition, and you are not guests here.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
Is there a problem?
Is there an issue with the Templars? Can I help?
The Templars are too accustomed to having their way. They need to learn. It's your doing, after all. You're the one who conscripted them.
I did my best.
I had to think on my feet, and I did what I could.
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
You got us here.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up to the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
Why? I go in at 6. It's too early. Wait a minute. Oh. I thought you went in at 3. Never mind. Oh, now it makes sense. Durr. Oh, I don't know if it's too early. Let me see if I can get these two. Catch these two.
I saw the leader of the Bull's
There you
charge.
go.
Is that Iron Bull? He's something, is he not?
Oh, go on with you. You can't go making cow eyes at one of those oxmen.
No harm in looking, is there? Those shoulders, those horns.
You're mad.
Maybe, but I'm not dead.
Oh my god.
All men are the work of our Maker's hands.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin. And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement. The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well. I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who was she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's Templars. According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
It's needed more than ever.
The Chantry should be a place of hope, not another group scrambling for answers.
That must be its strength again. The Chants did much to bridge nations. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
And the start of many fights. No, but I see the importance.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
That's an ambitious notion.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montilier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
I don't claim to be holy.
I'd tell the Chantry I was saved by circumstance, not divine intervention.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
While we're here, visit Maeve.
That will help.
Okay. Sorry.
Have you had any trouble with them?
Not at all. I will inform you if
Oh,
that
you know what?
changes.
Yes. Rare stocks. Exacting buyers. Only the finest. And short lists. Oh well, that's something else. They give you raw materials for crafting, some of them rare, which will help you in crafting your weapons and or armor. So let's start on that because I'm bone dry on materials now. Let's do this. Utilize the Grey Warden treaties. I was correct. Spreading word that the Inquisition was allied with the Grey Wardens meant messages of support poured in. With the treaties in hand, we've managed to secure new recruits and donations of both gold and equipment. The commander will make good use of them. Josephine. Investigate the strange chalk markings. A spy's report. Posts set up along the Imperial Highway, ostensibly to guard trade routes and facilitate procuring supplies for the Inquisition. Eyes on all approaches. Fourth night. A caravan carrying refugees makes camp nearby for protection. After midnight, a young woman on crutches makes small talk with patrol guard. After he passes, she crouches and makes the mark on a tent post. The woman pretends for half an hour to know nothing. When it becomes clear the ruse will not work, she kisses an Andrastian locket and says, "Glory to those across the seas." She dies. The locket was poison. So that's the beginning of the war mission between the executors. Another one will come later on when you progress into the game, and when you send Josephine, it's easier because if you send Cullen, not only will you lose people to the cause because they'll probably be like recruited to the executors. Basically, don't mourn for your missing people. They're you know, stuff like that. If you send Josephine, you won't lose any more people, and you'll gain more information that way. Yeah, they're called for a higher purpose or something like that. Upon the waking sea, we found what we were looking for. An ancient vault, all but buried in the thick vegetation at the heart of the island, no doubt untouched for over 1,000 years. The effort to open the vault without setting off traps was considerable, and what we found within was interesting. According to an agent named Ryan, this was the retreat of one of the last of Andraste's disciples, a guardian who fled some manner of attack on the site of the sacred ashes. He expected reinforcement by other disciples who never arrived. Whatever the texts the man thought to preserve have mostly crumbled, but we recovered a number of other artifacts from the site. It is a significant find that will undoubtedly prove of great interest to Chantry scholars, even if it will take them years to sort through all the debris. After you pull in whatever Templars you have, negotiate with Hamzul's Templars will come, and you'll be able to send Cullen. I usually send Cullen. I mean...
Alright.
He'll handle any Templar affairs anyways. Secure a route through the Frostbacks. I mainly use that for our spies, or you can use it for your merchants to get through a faster route to Haven. But spies, I think spies will be more sufficient.
Let's see what we have.
And what we need right now. Let's see. I think the only ones left is Josephine. Let's start on this.
Let us begin.
Nobility and casualty. Commander Colin, as I understand, you were the military commander for the Inquisition's venture to Therinfall Redoubt. The safety of the non-combatants who lent their influence to your organization was therefore your responsibility. My brother Leontine Pontival lost his life in that debacle. I call upon you as a man of supposed... Huh? Debacle. That's with a D. That's what I said. I said debacle. I said it right. Call upon you as a man of supposed honor to answer for his death in a duel to be fought in Valreo at dawn in 1 week's time. Viscount Treman Pontival. Busy. Right now I'll hold off. Mainly because... yeah, I'll hold off. Pick up later tonight. Acquire 10 cotton, silk, lamb's wool, nug skin, fenric fur, deep stalker hide, serpent stone, drake stone, blue vertule, I see. And as soon as you get more of those Inquisition points, perks, you invest more on that one, and it'll give you more items and rare materials and rare leathers and all that. I'll have to cut it off here. I gotta go. See you tonight. Bye!